right, folks, now the last characteristic is kind of difficult. It's that they're warm-blooded. Now, this means that the dolphin's internal body temperature is not affected by the outside environment, such as the temperature of the air or the temperature of the water that they're swimming in. It remains constant, just like you and I. All right, folks, we made it through all 5 of those characteristics. So I want to go ahead and put your hands together for everybody for doing such a great job. And it looks like the dolphins are celebrating as well.
Yoo-hoo! Oh, como salta, hijo.
Excellent, folks. Well, a common question we get here at the Gulfarium is just how do you train the animal? All those different behaviors. So we're actually going to break down a very common show behavior for you folks. It's called a tail walk. Now, the way that we start training this behavior and the way we start training a bunch of behaviors is actually through something called a target hand. Now, the reason we start off with this target hand is because we break down every behavior into small, achievable steps that we call successive approximation. Now, that's just a really fancy term for baby steps. Now, the target is the first step, and that's where the dolphins learn to touch their rostrum, or the tip of their bottlenose beak, into a trainer's open palm. Now, once they've figured out that we want them to touch that there, we're going to move our hand anywhere we need to train a variety of different behaviors. Side and side to train a nose, or up and down to train a yes, a variety of different things. Now, for this tail walk, we can also train them to follow our target hand in a forwards or backwards motion, as you see Lily and Lisa down there at the end doing. Now, Lily and Delilah are actually in the process of learning a forwards tail walk. Now, once we get to a certain point, we're actually going to probably need to use the metaphorical, which is just really a long extension of our hand. But, folks, we wouldn't talk to you about this behavior without having the final product. So, I'm going to call on Sebastian to help us out and show off that forward tail walk for everybody today. Fantastic job out there today, Sebastian. And folks, be sure to be on the lookout for Lily and Delilah's backwards tail walks later on in the show. Now, I know we went over the fact that these dolphins are indeed mammals, but it's still kind of strange to me that a mammal can live in the ocean. So we're going to go over a few of the adaptations that these animals have that make them so well suited for their aquatic environment. The first one we're going to talk about is the dorsal fin. It's located directly on top of the dolphin's head. This is the stabilizer of the dolphin and what allows them to stay upright and straight while they're swimming through the water, much like a keel on a boat. Now, a lot of people think that there's a bone that runs along this fin, but there's actually no bones in it at all. It's made up of a thick but flexible cartilage, very similar to what is found in our ears and nose. Well, folks, the next set of fins we're going to talk about are the dolphin's pectoral fins. They're the ones located on either side of their bodies. It's what they use to make lightning quick stops and sudden turns. An interesting fact about these fins is that if you were to take an x-ray of them, you would notice that they have 5 digits in them, just like our very own hands, making it very easy for them to give handshakes, high fives, and as you've seen throughout the show, shamelessly ask for some applause from time to time. Now, folks, the last set of fins we have to discuss are the tail fins, otherwise known as their tail flukes. That's right, folks, there are indeed 2 of them, and they're separated by a small notch known as the median notch. Now, these tail fins are also connected to the most powerful muscle in the dolphin's entire body, known as their peduncle muscle. This is what allows them to get their entire body weight up and out of the water to do those amazing flips, jumps, and aerial behaviors that you have been seeing and will see throughout the show today. It looks like Liv's going to show off the power of that peduncle muscle for everybody.
Yoo-hoo!
Excellent job out there today, Lily. Well, folks, this next behavior that we're going to discuss is actually a very difficult one for any animal to learn. But you're most likely going to think of sea lions when you think of an animal performing ball balancing. Now, sea lions do have a few special adaptations to help them with this very difficult behavior. They have those long and flexible necks and those long whiskers to tell them which way the ball is moving. Now, as you can see, Delilah and Lily do not have either of these, but what they do have is a whole lot of determination. So if they balance those soccer balls right there on the tips of their bottlenose beaks, be sure to put your hands together and let them know that they're doing an incredible job out there today. Fantastic job out there, girls. Just a little bit longer. Wonderful job, ladies. That was certainly no easy task. Well, folks, at this point in the show, we're going to actually need the help of a very lucky member of our audience. Freddie is going to come down here and help us be our volunteer. He's going to be our honorary veterinarian today. All right, Freddie, come down here. He came all the way from Ohio. So you're going to kneel down here on the dock right beside Amanda. Now, Freddie, what we're going to do today is actually, you're going to help us out with something we do every single day. It's called body checks. It's exactly what it sounds like. So we're checking out the dolphin's entire body, make sure they don't have any cuts or scratches that they might have gotten overnight. Now, most of the time, those scratches are something called rake marks, and it's just what it sounds like. It's from the other dolphin's teeth raking across their body. It's the way that they communicate. So, Freddie, you want to reach out and touch Sebastian right there on his side? Have you ever touched a dolphin before? No? What do you think he feels like? Silky leather, that's cool. It's a good description. Now, do you see any of those old rake marks, maybe some up there and over there? Yeah, no new ones. But if we were to find any new ones on Sebastian, we would just keep them nice and clean with a disinfectant solution. All right, Freddie. Now, Sebastian did great for this portion of his exam, but we're actually going to move on and we're going to look at his mouth. You're going to be the dolphin dentist too, okay? Now, what I want you to do is we're going to look at his mouth. You see that cute pink tongue. And I need you to make sure that he's got all of his teeth. So go ahead and start counting. We'll wait. I'm kidding, Freddie. We'd be here forever. He has anywhere from 88 to 100 cone-shaped teeth in his mouth. Now, something else interesting about dolphins' teeth is that they only get one set their entire life. So if they were to lose one, they wouldn't get it back. Okay, now we're going to go back to veterinary mode. And this is probably the most important behavior we can ever train our dolphins here at the Gulfarium. Now, the reason this is so important is because this is where we take a voluntary blood sample from on our dolphins. Now, they can't tell us if they're not feeling well, so we take that sample on a monthly basis to get a baseline or as needed. Now, the reason that we chose this area to take the blood sample from is because there's very little blubber here. There's also a vein that runs along the top and bottom on both sides of those tail flaps. Now, do you think that feels a little bit different than his side did? Yeah, that's because there's the lack of blubber there. All right, Freddie, now what we're looking for on Sebastian for this one is that he's nice and calm throughout this entire thing. And I forgot to mention, when we do collect that blood sample, we're actually able to take it to our local hospital for analysis because dolphin blood is so similar to human blood. And we practice it all the time. So, Freddie, we practiced it. He's doing a great job. What do you think we could possibly do to let Sebastian know that he did such a great job? An applause? Okay, that's a good idea. What about some fish, too? Yeah? Okay, perfect. Well, in just a second, Amanda's going to hand you a fish. Hold on to it for me. Go ahead, grab it. But before you do anything with it, help me out. The rest of the audience doesn't have such a great view of that fish as you do. So can you tell them what it is? A sardine? That's a good guess, Freddie. But it's actually a dead fish. All right, I got a few chuckles. All right, so Sebastian's going to pop up. Amanda will tell you when you can throw that fish right into his mouth. Excellent. Looks like he doesn't mind. But Freddie, do your hands smell kind of fishy now? Yeah, we have this problem all the time here at the Gulfarium, believe me. So I'm going to show you exactly what to do. All you have to do is take both your hands and rub them together. Perfect. And then wave them in the air. And then just rinse them off in the water. And Sebastian's going to help you out with that one. Let's give him a round of applause. He was an excellent volunteer out there today. Well, folks, throughout the show, you've seen what an incredible relationship our